Hello, welcome to Larry's Elite Solutions. Today we are going to be looking at WAEC past questions review, and we are going to be focusing on Civic Education Paper 2, May June 2014. Now let's begin. So we are going to be providing answers from the WAEC expected list of answers. We're going to be providing answers from the WAEC expected list of answers for the questions. Question number 1 says, what are values? State 6 importance of values to the Nigerian society. So WAEC gave 5 correct answers that can fit into that question. This is question 1A. So any of these 5 answers will earn you your full mark in question 1A. It's either you define values as ideas, things, or principles cherished by people in a society. That is correct. You can also say that values signify norms and behavioral traits which are generally accepted as being of great worth in society. That is also correct. Then you can also say that values are precepts, moral principles, ideas, and beliefs which people hold dearly and cherish, e.g., honesty, contentment, faithfulness, justice, tolerance, fair play, and so on. That's also correct. Values are standard criteria which determine how the people of a society, nation, or state think and relate with one another. That's also correct. Values refer to the words attached to things which may not be quantifiable, e.g., integrity, hard work, perseverance, and so on. So any of these 5 will earn you your full mark in question 1A. Now let's move to the next question. Question 1B says, state 6 importance of values to the Nigerian society. State 6 importance of values to the Nigerian society. Now these are the expected list of answers for that. Under that, WAEC gave 15 expected list of answers, and you are expected to choose any of these 6 and you get your full mark. 1. Values help to determine and control the behavior of individuals in society. They act as criteria or measure for judgment of the actions of individuals in society. Values give focus and direction to individuals in the family. And 4. Values help us in decision making. 5. Values modify our attitudes and feelings towards other people through tolerance. 6. Of different opinions and behavior. 6. Values act as standard of conduct for people in a society. 7. Values guide people towards the achievement of declared objective, e.g., individual, family, communal, corporate, and national objective, among others. 8. Values promote unity, harmony, and cooperation in the society. 9. Values encourage sense of responsibility and hard work among Nigerian citizens. 10. Values help youth to resist negative peer pressure in the society. 11. Values help us to develop respect for one another, for other people's ways of life, e.g., different ethnic and religious groups, and so on. Values encourage tolerance and friendship among people in the society. Values promote self-reliance in the society, thus creating employment opportunity for citizens. Values ultimately promote development in the society. Values lead to actions which promote happiness and contentment in society. So you can pick any 6 of these and you will have your full mark. Now we are moving to question number 2. Question number 2 says, explain the term citizenship education and state 4 reasons for effective citizenship education in Nigerian youths. So for number 1, I provided 3 correct answers for number 1, which is 2A. Now what are the answers provided? 1. Citizenship education is the process of enlightening or training citizens on their rights and responsibilities. 2. Citizenship education is a form of education given to individuals with a view to making them responsible individuals who are committed to the meaningful development of their society. 3. Citizenship education is a type of education which instills desirable values, attitudes, skills, and knowledge into individuals to enable them participate in the affairs of their group or adjust functionally as good citizens. Any of these three definitions will earn you your full mark in that question. Now let's move to question number 2b. Question number 2b says state 4 reasons for effective citizenship education of Nigerian citizens. So you are expected to state only 4 reasons, but WAEC gave 12 solid reasons. So I will be stating those reasons. You can pick any 4 of them and you have your full mark in question 2b. Now let's begin. Effective citizenship education help us to 1. Sensitize Nigerian youth on their duties and rights as citizens. 2. Produce responsible, well-informed and self-reliant Nigerian youth. 3. Inculcate the right values and attitude into the youth for the development of society. 4. Help citizens, especially youth, identify national problems and provide solutions. 5. Produce enlightened youth who are politically and nationally conscious. 6. Instill in the youth high moral standards which are required for the development of the country. 7. Encourage national integration and nation building. 8. Prepare the youth for future leadership roles. 9. Instill in youth a sense of national consciousness and patriotism towards their society and the country at large. 10. Provide the youth with sound knowledge and skills required by them to actively participate in the process of democratic governance in the society, e.g. voting, standing for election, protesting against bad policies and constructive criticisms of leaders, among others. 11. Inform citizens of these activities of government in a democratic society. 12. Educate citizens on the importance of rules and regulation in society, e.g. rule of law. So any of these, you can pick any 4 of these and you will have your full mark for question 2b. Now let's move to question 3. Question 3 says, what is the meaning of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR? And 3b says, highlight any 6 rights or freedoms in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948. So now let's go to question 3a. WAEC is expecting you to define UDHR as a global proclamation specifying the rights of individual. It is the primary international expression of fundamental inalienable rights of members of the human race. That is another definition you can give. It was adopted by the General Assembly of the United Nations Organization on December 10, 1948 in Paris, France. The Charter consists of 30 articles on human rights. It also has core freedoms. Now let's move to question B. That's question 3b. Question 3b says, highlight any 6 rights of freedom in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948. Now let's move down to the answers. So you are expected to highlight only 3, but WAEC is giving you 27 possible or correct answers that can fit into that. You are expected to highlight only 6, but WAEC gave more than 6. That's 27 possible answers that can go, and then you have your full mark for question 3b. Now let's look at them one by one. The right to life, liberty and security, the right to freedom of thoughts, consciousness and religion, right to freedom of movement, residence within the borders of each state, right to freedom of opinion and expression, right to freedom of peace, assembly and association. Everyone is entitled in full equality to fair and public hearing. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and right. The right to own property alone as well as in association with others. The right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. The right to an effective remedy by a competent national tribunal or law courts, right of an individual to leave and return to any country, including his or her own, the right of an individual to flee persecution and seek asylum in another country, the right to a nationality, the right to marry and to found a family, the right of an individual to take part in the government of his or her country. Now, these are the remaining ones: the right to social security, right to work, right to education, right to freely participate in cultural life of the community, the right to the protection of moral and material interest. No one shall be held in slavery or servitude. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. 23. All are equal before the law and entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. No one shall be held guilty. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his or her privacy. Everyone is entitled to social and international order. Any of 6 of these 27 answers will earn you your full mark in question 3B. Now let's move to the last question, which is question 4. Question 4 says define human trafficking, and WAEC gave 2 possible answers for that, and state 6 causes of human trafficking. WAEC gave 28 possible answers or correct answers for that. So let's look at the 2 possible answers for number 1 that was given by WAEC. First one: human trafficking is the illicit or illegal business in the sale and transportation of human beings for economic and other selfish purposes. Usually the unsuspecting victims are lured away into forced labor, prostitution, and other forms of abuse. So you can also define human trafficking as the recruitment, transportation, harboring, or receipt of persons by deception, force, or threat of harm for the purpose of exploitation. Any of these 2 definitions will earn you your full mark. And don't forget, in the previous question, in question 4B, you have been asked to state 6 causes of human trafficking. Now let's look at the causes. I'll be giving 28 from the list of 28 answers that WAEC provided. The causes of human trafficking: poverty. This makes the citizen to be vulnerable. Youth unemployment, disorientation of values, greed and get rich quick attitude, corruption in society which encourages adventures into crime, bad leadership which fails to protect citizens, ignorance or lack of knowledge, social, economic and related deprivation which breeds desperation, political instability, inefficiency or ineffectiveness of law enforcement to make apprehension of human traffickers difficult, inadequate punishment of offenders, conflicts or laws, low self-esteem can make individuals become victims of human trafficking, negative peer influence contributes to human trafficking, the demand for cheap labor within and outside Nigeria, rise in demand for social commercial sex workers encourages human trafficking, illiteracy and lack of education, lack of parental guidance and control. These are the 18 answers, not 28, sorry. These are the 18 possible or correct answers provided by WAEC, but you can pick any of these and you have your full mark for question 4B. So for further inquiries and questions on Civic Education Paper 2 May 2014 WAEC past question, you can send your questions to laresolutions@gmail.com. And here we are going to be drawing the rope and ending the class for this past question reviews tutorial. Thank you.